Good Saturday, Ice Age TV morning day. And what's happening today after my birthday? It's buy myself a gift birthday day. How about that idea, right? My birthday was on Thursday. And man, getting to be that close to that 6-0. Turned 59 here this past Thursday. And it's treat myself to birthday day. So kind of follow along with me today as I go pick up. What do you think I'm going to buy, right? If anybody here is watching all my videos, you know, come on. I mean, I think people that know me pretty well will be like, yeah, it probably the name brand probably starts with an F, even though years ago it would have been started with a D, Dodge, or an R, Ram, or a J, Jeep. Hey, J. Yikes. You'll be like, Dad, you're giving away all this crucial information. So, yeah, I've been trying to pick up a vehicle for myself here for like the last year, and they say 3 times a charm, or I should say 3rd time a charm, and that's kind of what played out for me yesterday, was 3rd time is a charm. But at the same time, it comes in 3s. Yikes. If anybody's followed my videos, you'd be like, comes in 3s. Yep. It's been a rough week in the Ice Age TV household. Good news is everybody's safe and sound. And it's kind of been a for a week. If anybody watched that video of the Mustang Bullet that's been totaled, unfortunately. So good news is daughter's safe and sound, and the people that were involved in that are safe and sound too. So that's a great thing on that. But you know, at the same time, we all know it's difficult when you have a vehicle you like and you kind of lose it. But not to harbor on that. But anyways, in the meantime, for me, if you watched my video from last Sunday, I thought I was going to have a C car, meaning a Corvette. And that's kind of funny, right? A C8, that is. So, watch that video. A lot of the Corvette guys are mad at me, which wasn't intentional to make anybody mad. It was more of my true. I mean, I'm going to embellish here. That was more about me truly being disappointed that car just didn't radiate excitement in me to want to buy it. And, you know, that's kind of how I operate. I buy a lot of things. And when I drive the vehicle, you know, right out of the gate, it's like, wow, this is really neat and cool. You know, that's dangerous because then it gets me on the page and I want to buy it. And you know, me being a 4 Corvette person, I've owned 4 Corvettes. I've owned the C5, 2 of them, Z06s, you know, over different time frames. And then I owned the C6, Z06, and then I owned the C7, non-Z06, but it was a Stingray with the Z51 package. And those were all just really great Corvettes. And sure, they were front-engine Corvettes, so that's that's something radically different from the new C8. So, once again, if you watched my video last weekend that I was truly disappointed in that Corvette C8, I mentioned in that video, I think people, I get it. You watch these videos, you know, who wants to watch the whole thing? You just kind of speed through to the highlights. And, you know, I made mention there, it's not the car, it's me, you know. So I told a lot of the Corvette guys looked at me like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, I do know what I'm talking about, and that just doesn't fit the seat of my pants for me. So, yeah, nice car. Hey, by no means am I here saying the Corvette C8 is not a nice car. That's not really the message in that video. The message is I was so disappointed last Sunday that I wouldn't be driving home in a nice, freshly used C8 Corvette. I mean, I really thought that was going to be our day. And if you look at the excitement in the video when my daughter was riding with me, you'll see how excited we were to go down there and drive that vehicle. So No, I didn't buy a Corvette, and that would have been pretty cool because that would have been my number 5 Corvette in my life, and it would have been a C8, so that means in my lifetime I would have had a C5, C6, C7, C8. Now, am I going to say that I'll never own a C8 Corvette? I think that the odds are probably not, but you never know with me. I mean, yeah, the Z06 C8, I just don't think that's, financially, I think that's going to be a challenge to get one of those, and I don't have the relationship with Chevy dealers where I just walk in the door and, hey, how you doing? You know, there's tons of other relationships with other people that have Corvettes that are going to get the deal, if you understand all that. So let's get back to what's today all about. It's all about me going and picking up my new ride today. And that's going to happen a little later because my daughter is a horsewoman here, a horse lady. And she'll be doing her horseback riding this morning. And then maybe we'll do a Tremor day going over to get my other vehicle. So that I just kind of maybe spill the beans. So hey, follow me along as we have a buy myself a birthday present Saturday. All right, so the adventures continue on this Ice Age buy myself a present birthday. And yikes, right? What am I doing, right? Well, you've been following along here. Earlier, I was talking about how today I'm going to go pick up my truck. And what truck is that, you may say? Well, if you're watching me right now, I'm driving my Ford Ranger. And it's dangerous. You know, for me, I get fixated on things, and it just becomes a problem. Because for me, until I get that fixation resolved, I just don't stop being fixated. That's my challenge in life when it comes to vehicles. Motorcycles, trucks, cars, SUVs, dirt bikes, ATVs, side-by-sides. Kind of got the boat thing out of me, thank God, right? Jesus Christ, I've had my boats in the day, but that isn't my driving thing these days, even though I bought one years back. So, you talk about a unique week, and I mentioned earlier my daughter was with me, which she's going through some pretty stressful times herself, being that it's been a rough week when you crash your favorite vehicle at her age, which she's very young. And yeah, I've had a lot of different comments on my car forums about what is your daughter doing driving a Mustang, especially a Bullet. So, but I have confidence. Yeah, someone out there watching me like, oh yeah, that's great. Real good confidence when your daughter just totaled your Bullet, which is no longer built. That's that's pretty heart-wrenching for me, since I'm such a enthusiast for cars, and that's a vehicle that's not going to come back as far as me being able to buy one new. Yeah, pick up one used, but I'm not even on that page in life right now. So it's been an interesting week where in my world and other people's worlds, I'm sure you hear the term, it comes in threes. And, yeah, it comes in threes, all right. And so, unfortunately, unbeknownst to people watch my videos, I do a lot to help my mother and father, and my family outside of my wife and kid, my brother and sisters. And so my father, about 3 years ago, I bought a nice Ranger truck. I have 2 Ranger trucks. And I actually took it to Florida so my father could, have a nice secondary vehicle, a truck. And that truck's in my name, and it's in my insurance policy. And so, and then I helped my father here get a Santa Cruz, and actually that's in his name, but help out financially, I carry the insurance on it as well. So for me, I've got a lot of exposure, being I've got my wife, my daughter, my dad, my brother, I've got a lot of people that are using my vehicle, so I've got a lot of exposure. So I'm going back to, it comes in threes. So shortly after I helped my dad get to Santa Cruz, I came back home, and it wasn't even a week later that he was in a swipe merge type of accident at Santa Cruz, which now is a claim on my insurance policy. So okay, that's one, and it's nothing radical, being it wasn't a horrendous crash, but at the same time, it's money out of the insurance company's pocket, and it's a claim against me. So you now fast forward to this past week, and my daughter totaled my Ford Mustang, which that's huge. Anybody in the real world knows, this is pretty big. The people out there that, are related in businesses, police-wise, law-wise, body shop-wise, car-wise, just in general, when you total a car, that's a huge, that's huge. And unfortunately, that's something that just isn't going to now be erased. So that's number two. And so for me, it's now like, oh, great. Here's two accidents within the last basically 40 days. And now what's going to happen? And holy crow. Here yesterday, as I'm in the process of buying myself a new birthday present, a truck, my daughter calls, and I kind of ignore the call because I'm negotiating the deal, but then she's instantly calling again. So then I know instantly, it's like, oh geez, something's going on. So sure enough, here's my daughter on the other end of the phone. I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me if my daughter's been in another accident. So yeah, she hasn't been like in an accident, anything where it's, a severe accident. It's more or less a damage to another vehicle in my big F-350 Tremor truck. If you watch my videos, you'll know that big black F-350 Tremor truck, and that's like her favorite, truck vehicle, and she drives that a lot. And, what's the odds? And, keep in mind, as an individual, especially as adults, once a young person, even us, once you have something like a crash that she had, that rattles you. That didn't just erase out of your mind, the next day. You're now, it rattles you. So, you're thinking clearly, that's kind of what starts to happen when you have challenges and you experience bad things in your life. Can you clear that out of your head and think clearly? And I'm not, I'm abreast to that's a challenge. So sure enough, yesterday at school, somebody parked very, very close to the big truck, and I'm just assuming my daughter, didn't allow for that. And as she's pulling out right out of the parking spot, that big old truck catches the left side front of that vehicle and tears it up. So now here I am. So here's number three. Now, for me, a third incident on my insurance policy within a 40-day, 45-day time frame. This is huge. For anybody out there that's got the kids, been through this, they'll be like, oh yeah, I know how this is all going to play out for you. I know. So, good Lord, talk about, all right, so let's not harbor on that all day. I have faith that somehow, some way, I'll make it all work as the time progresses. But the saying is, comes in threes. But at the same time, on the more positive note, but at the same time, you hear the phrase, third time's a charm. And for me, I can honestly tell you that over the last year, I've been trying to pick up a nice Ford F-250 Tremor diesel. Yeah. These guys out here that have watched all my 7.3 Godzilla gas motor videos, they're going to probably be like, what? Wait a second, you're buying now a diesel? Now keep in mind that I had an F-450 diesel truck that I got rid of last fall because I got really good money for it. So, third time's a charm. So yeah, so yesterday, actually a day after my birthday, I picked up a brand new Ford 2022 F-250 Platinum package, carbonized gray, metallic, and that's actually where I'm going today to go pick it up, because I got the deal done yesterday. So, that's my big birthday present. That's the big, the big thing that's going on. You're following me along today to see my brand new F-250 6.7 diesel motor, and a lot of guys, I'm sure that are the Godzilla guys, are like, what? Wait, why are you doing that? I thought you led the Godzilla motor. The Godzilla motor's awesome, there's no doubt. Even though I've learned by accident that my F-150 Tremor V6 twin turbo borderline outpulls that Godzilla motor. Oh my gosh. That's been an eye-opener. So it's like, oh my gosh. So, keep in mind, the F-350 Super Duty vehicle, by all means, is going to be the better, heavy-duty towing big trailers. But as far as power goes, the F-150 is the better puller. I'm not lying. The V6 twin turbo. Right? So now, what I really want to have in my fleet is the diesel as well. I just, I'm not here, saying that 7.3 Godzilla motor ain't towing. It does. Does it suck the hell out of fuel? It does. Oh my gosh. I think that thing's maybe 6-7 miles a gallon, which is yikes. That was my readings kind of coming back in, maybe 8. All right, that's probably a little tamer, maybe. I don't know. So anyways, so here we go. And here's the dangerous point. Here's the danger. The Ford Ranger comes in a Tremor package. So right now, for my F-250 purchase from yesterday, I have 3 Tremors. I have an F-150 Tremor, now an F-250 Tremor, and an F-350 Tremor. So this kind of goes back, for me, where I get fixated things. If I could have made videos back in the 90s, you'd have seen me with all the Dodge Ram products, where I had the Dakota trucks, and I had the Ram 1500, the Ram 2500, the Ram 3500. To the point, I had 2 of the Dakota RT, 2-wheel drive, lowered, extended cab trucks, and I even had the 4-door Dakota truck. So I had every Ram, back then, Dodge Ram, whatever I had every one of their trucks at one time. Why I didn't, what? I lost the roll of film to some of these pictures. Oh my gosh. Oh, I wish I had that film to show you what I had. So here we go. So now here's the debate. Do I take this Ranger, which, I put a nice tuner on this thing, a nice exhaust, a nice suspension lift. This little thing hauls tail. And, do I trade this out for that Tremor package? Yeah. And, and in today's car market, you're paying premium price. Yeah, you're paying premium price. I'm the guy that's made videos over and over again that don't buy a car. Yeah, today, right now, if you can avoid buying a new vehicle, I wouldn't buy a new vehicle because the freaking market's so freaking ridiculous. But yeah, listen to the hypocrite, right? Yeah, I hear you. So now the debate is, do I trade out this for the Ranger Tremor? Which, that's why I'm driving the Ranger right now. Is because I'm going to go, we'll run some numbers. I'm going to drive that Tremor Ranger and see if it really has that Tremor package type of feel. And that's if you don't know. That Tremor package is a really nice setup in these Ford trucks. The Super Duty, it's a really nice package. And that F-150 Tremor, if you watch those videos, I get the Raptor guys hate me because that thing's just so badass. It's really even held back from me really pursuing getting a Raptor truck. Also serious, I could buy a Raptor truck right now and place the F-250 Tremor truck I'm buying. I mean, for the amount of money I'm spending, I could do the same thing. But I just, I really want that tow capability with that diesel motor, because I do have my car hauler and motorcycle trailers, and I do just love the look of that Tremor package, and I like that F250 suspension because it's got one less spring in the back end of it, and it is a little softer ride. That F350, it is a pretty, it's a good ride, but it's stiffer. So, here I am, talking about the F-150 Tremor that has really kept me from buying a Raptor. The Raptor is really nice, but that F-150 Tremor truck is so versatile with the tow capability, because the tow capability is like 11.5, 11.7. Raptor's like 7,000 or 7,500, whatever that number is. Just the performance, that F-150 truck is incredible. The ride, I mean, yeah, if you're the guy that lives up in the backwoods and you're really taking these things off extreme back road and then Baja, and I get it, go buy the Raptor. But if you're just basically using the truck for everyday driving and light off-road use, oh my gosh, that F-150 Tremor all day long. So now, going back to this Ranger, do I trade out of this so I can say, hey, I have 4 Tremor Ford products. Yeah. I've got the Ranger Tremor, the F-150 Tremor, the F-250 Tremor, and the F-350 Tremor. I mean, oh my gosh, is that like a collection or what? I mean, and, in the Tremor, that Tremor package looks really nice, actually. I really do like the look of it. And it is an upgrade from this one. It's got the adaptive cruise control. It has a tow package. Just doesn't have a tow package, which I don't get that at all. It does have a little nicer interior setup on it. And it's got a whole different suspension, wheels, and tires. So when I go up to the dealer today and drive this, I'll show you that test drive and let's see how that goes. But, earlier, and even yesterday, I wasn't even on this page of picking up the F-150, or I should say the Ranger Tremor. I wasn't even on that page. So what spurred this, right? Well, follow me along as we head to the dealership and we see what plays out today. Is it going to be a 2-truck day? Yikes. Now, I'm getting a lot of interaction on that Ford Mustang Bullet, my forums that I belong to, and a lot of people are pushing, try to not let it get towed. And I actually am looking at that option. And so I have friends. So on the parts end, I can actually beat the insurance company. Believe it or not, I can get the OEM parts. And just so you know, on my insurance policy, it says they can use non-OEM parts to build that car back together. But since I have relationships, I can actually get all the OEM parts, get this, for $2,000 less. So the OEM parts, I'm coming in at $12,000, and the non-OEM are going to be $14,000. So that's a $2,000 savings right there. Then I got a friend that's got a body shop, and he really wants to probably put the car back together. So it's possible I could get that number down where it would be under that threshold in the state of Virginia for what they classify as being a total vehicle. And I am working on that. But at the same time, I think that what the insurance company's looking at is they've already got an estimate to put this car back together for like 21 and change. Which I'm kind of surprised, because this vehicle, the Bullet, in the market right now, it's getting 50, like my car being a 4,500 mile vehicle prior to the accident, and having the Magna Ride, the performance pages, it had, some upgraded features that aren't in every Bullet. That vehicle should bring 52 in the market retail, 50 low, 54 high. trade is worth a good 44, 46. So I don't know where these guys are getting this $21,000 number to see it's total. So that's a conversation I'm probably going to have a little more in depth with the adjuster. But at the same time, my other friends that are in the dealer business, they're saying, well, what you're not thinking about is they're just kind of putting numbers together based on the variable that there could be another 5 or 10 grand or more damage. So once they start tearing this car apart, is there a transmission that has to be replaced? Is the engine block possibly got a crack in it? I mean, I doubt it, but who the heck knows? You don't know it. You know, you're talking about an impact of crash that was significant, that, you know, did the damage to that vehicle to so-called total it. So, you know, so what they're saying is once they start tearing that car apart, they're probably going to find another 5 grand, maybe 10 grand in other related problems. So that number could go from 21 to possibly 30. And then, you know, what many of my friends are saying is they're never going to, the car will never be the same. It'll never, ever be the same. And that body shop is going to have it for 3-4 months, and then you're going to take it back, you know what I mean? And you're going to get it, and you're going to drive it, and something may be right, you're going to take it back, they're going to have to adjust this or that. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just speaking out loud with other individuals that have witnessed this before saying, and then they're like, you know, the car is labeled, so it's kind of a car that you're going to have to just decide you keep forever because it's going to be labeled and people aren't going to give you any money for that car. So I got mixed feelings on what I should do with that car at this time, and I'm still kind of working through it. And I guess, you know, the gut instinct is just let it go. The other part is, wow, if I could salvage that as far as maybe put it back together. So I don't know. We haven't come to closure on that yet. Wowsker. Is this me? Man almighty. You know, it's crazy. This thing looks like such a different color in this angle of the sun. I mean, even for me, I'm like, wait a second. Is that mine? So here she is. It's a 2022 F250 Platinum. 6.7 liter Power Stroke with the Tremor package. Yeah, how about that, huh? Wow, it's just a great truck. I'm gonna put a bed rug in this thing and a roll-up cover and some nice mud flaps and probably do some retractable steps because I don't like this, how high you have to step up into this thing. So that'll be one of the many projects, and I'll share those videos when I do that. How about that idea, right? All right, let's see if we can, oh yeah, wait a second here. What about this thing over here? Now, if this deal came down, so look, that or that. Wow. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll be amazed this plays out, but let's go on in and see what's happening. All right, so we're gonna get a test drive here, and already the interior in this is just a little different, which is kind of interesting. Seats are different, and then if you look here, look at this little setup up here. So this must be on the Tremor package. That's pretty cool. Wow. Oh, you got auxiliary. Oh, that's pretty cool. Now the real question is going to be, does the suspension on this thing is it really different? That's what I'm curious about. So follow me along as we take the drive. All right, so I see those guys like, I don't care if they see me in video, it's all good. That's great. So same setup as my blue one over there. So here's going to be the real, you know, how excited do I get? How excited do I not get? So, yeah, because the downside on buying this is I've already customized that one. And so I can already tell, just going over those little bumps there, this definitely has a little stiffer suspension, which that would be nice because I talk about that all the time in my videos, that the Rangers are the old man's vehicle. And I know that Ford reps and other guys are like, whoa, what are you talking about? Well, the Ford Ranger just kind of has that bouncy suspension. I mean, it's a comfortable suspension, but it's not that Tacoma type of, more rigid or, stiff suspension. And so far, just driving this through the parking lot, I can already feel that this definitely has a little bit more of a taut suspension, which that would be nice. I'd rather have this thing be a little tighter. And so now, let's go. Well, we'll stay out of the sport mode for the second. We'll just keep it in drive, because these vehicles, it's a huge difference to go to sport mode. So, and now, keep in mind, just came out of mine that's tuned. But I have the same vehicle down in Florida that's all tuned up. But these things just get up the road. This little 2.3 turbo motor, I mean, it's a great motor. To the point, I would have ordered it in my Bronco in all reality. But once you go to the Wild Track package, you got to go to the V6. So, yeah, definitely firmer. So that's nice. Because when you go through these bumps and all, she's not bouncing as much. And the rear springs, as far as I know, I think the rear spring, I don't know if it has an extra spring. I don't know much about it. What do you say there, Mr. Sales Guy? Do you know offhand? If you don't,
I'm sure it has more Tremor.
With the Tremor package, you just know that it's got a different shocks, and you would think it'd have a little different, springs on it.
Yep.
So, it's really nice. This vehicle, I'm not even in sport mode, and these things just rock and roll. I can't emphasize enough. These things just really are great power ratio. All right, coming through the intersection. What's this guy doing? Not doing much. All right, so you go to sport mode. Go ahead and let's throw this here. And that's when these things really open up. So I can already feel it. It's just a free-spirited, more energy out of this motor, because it's really getting all the power out of it now, and so you're not get as good fuel mileage. But so far, yeah, so it's definitely a little tighter truck, that's for sure, which that's encouraging. And I'm gonna do that. Yeah, so right now I'm talking to the salesman here, and he's making a really good point. I said, what's kind of going on in the Ranger market, because it is a little soft. If you kind of look around inventory, you'll see a lot of Rangers out there in the market. And this is actually 2021, and if you're kind of the guy shopping around for vehicles today, it's not easy to find leftover vehicles and getting a deal on them because the market's so hot. But here's the dilemma. The Ford Maverick has changed the dynamics of the Ranger, because a lot of people that were on the Ranger page took a step back, and now they're going to buy the Maverick. Even though the Maverick, I do have one ordered. My dad actually has one ordered that I kind of took his order, and down in Florida. And, but here's the deal. Good luck getting one. It's just like the Ford Bronco. At this point, good luck getting your, special order vehicle because of all the shortages, which everybody knows that story. If you're, a car enthusiast and you're following the trends. So that's a great point. The Maverick probably has siphoned off a third to the half of the buyers in this market. And I don't disagree, because that Maverick, for the value to dollar to what you get out of that thing, if you're not doing serious towing or any major hauling behind it, or I should say putting stuff in the bed, that's a great vehicle to get for bang for the buck. Yeah, so right now, definitely my Ranger, my Blue Ranger, doesn't have the little exhaust note, because it doesn't have the exhaust system on it. Power's down a little bit because I don't have the tune. But overall, it's my Blue Ranger, but I can definitely feel how the suspension is more taut, so it doesn't give you that soft ride that the Ranger gets, which that turns off. I truly believe a lot of people shopping, especially the younger generation. I really think a lot of people, younger generation-wise, kind of get turned off by the Ranger because they kind of want that Toyota stiffer suspension, the off-road package type of feel. And I think that the Ranger radiates more of a comfort style. It doesn't give you that off-road ready capability feel because it's such a soft, ride and suspension. So and I think that's where Ford loses out. But in the long run, I think that what you're getting out of this Ranger, power-wise and comfort-wise, I've had all the Toyota Tacomas. If you follow my channel, you'll hear many conversations on the Tacoma. And yeah, I'm sorry, I don't think the Tacoma is really what it is for all the attention it gets. So now we're out here on the open highway. All right, so now we're on the open highway, so we just hit a nice little bump there, and that was a pretty good feel. So yeah, definitely the Tremor package. So it isn't like they put a sticker on this truck and said it's a Tremor. They have put the extra technology in it to make it feel like a nice little Tremor pickup truck. So now the debate is, do the numbers make any sense? That'll be the next equation in the Adventure Tremor Day. And good Lord, if I got this one, good Lord, if I got this Tremor, now even the sales guy would be like, you have 4 Tremors? you have 4 Tremors. Yep, sure do. So would I qualify to go down the history books and the Tremor King? Would that be a fact? Would there be anybody else out there that has each and every Tremor model like I do? I'd be surprised personally. I have a hard time believing there's anybody else out there that has.
I don't think it's
4 Tremors.
You gotta be number 1. You gotta be number 1.
Yep, there you go. Now he's really getting me motivated. He's like, you'll definitely have to get the Tremor video package. I get them all.
All the Tremors.
Yep. Great. But so far, really good ride. Nice and comfortable. Nice package. Different color. Is it worth it? Now this has the tow package, which that's nice. Correct? I'm pretty sure it does. It has the nicer seat package. But mine has adaptive. So at the end of the day, I really think that, the main difference from my truck to this truck is first the Tremor package. I've got adaptive. I don't know. Besides, this has a tow package. It just has the upfitter switches here. Other than that, I can't. Besides the interior, Tremor package, tow package, different wheels and tires, and then the accents to the Tremor theme. That's kind of what you're paying for. And I would have to say that's the big differences. But she soaks up the bumps really nice. So that's nice. All right, so we've done our test drive. Power's good, which I already kind of know all that. All right, let's go back and talk to the big guys and see how much they love me today. All right, what a day. It is Tremor King Day, being that not only am I picking up my new F-250 Tremor package, but I got the deal done on the Ranger Tremor. So I'm actually going to have a new Tremor, which, that's a great little truck there. That Tremor, I really like that setup. I like the looks of it. Even though I'm going to lose my tuner kit and my exhaust, not a big deal really. So you can always add that stuff on, but wow, what a day. Tremor Day. Tremor birthday, double duty, right? Man, is that incredible? I woke up this morning just kind of on that thought process. So we'll do the walk around on the Ranger truck here once it gets all cleaned up. And here is really what I've been wanting now for over a year. Wow. All right, so here is the baby Tremor. We're gonna call it the baby Tremor. She is out and about. Wow. Can you believe it? How'd I pull this off, right? Where did this crazy idea come from? So anybody's looking for a nice used Ranger, it's up here at Kuhn's Baltimore Ford. Oh my gosh. Whoever gets this is a great deal. Just so you know. Yeah, am I crazy for getting rid of it? Yeah, to a degree. But I think it's cool to have the Tremor, the whole Tremor family. And I like how I'm going to have the tow package, that's for sure. So, you know, kind of looking at this here, it's interesting to look at the setup and the springs. You know, you have to get the more detailed. For the Ranger Tremor fans, I'm sure they'll be able to point out to me, hey, it's this is that, that's this, if you know what I mean. Uh-oh. We never like that, do we? All right, so let's look at the new Tremor front end. All right. The grill obviously is different. You come over here, and or is the grill different? I don't think it is. It's actually just highlighted differently. So the 2019 Ford Ranger, really, it's apples to apples on the vehicle. Like just really the suspension. I'd be curious to get more into details on this Tremor suspension, you know. All right, unbeknownst to my daughter, I just traded out the Blue Ranger for a new Tremor Ranger. What do you think of that idea?
Cool.
So my wife came up here and is going to help me get my vehicles home because my daughter is going to drive home the new ride, which I think she's going to enjoy driving. Let me get a picture of you. What now?
How is this like? What makes this a Tremor? Like
It's package, a different suspension. You're going to see when you drive it, it's not as bouncy. So now once you get driving, you put it in sport mode to get the engine to get a little more free aspirated engine, you know? Get the performance out of it, you know what I mean? Okay, you ready? You got all your mirrors adjusted? Seat? Got your phone? Okay. Do you want the navigation cord? Want me to give you that cord to plug in for Waze? I got the cord. All right, we are heading out. Got the family with me. Tremor F-250 in the front. Tremor Ranger in the back. Wife's in the 4Runner. So the adventure begins, right? Spent the last day or two here at this place, making these deals go down ain't that easy. People think it is. If you go buy a car or truck, SUV, you're just like, wow. It's a lot of work. All right. So for the Ice Age Adventure Day, I accomplished something that I would have told you yesterday that I wasn't even really fixated on having a Ranger Tremor. I've been fixated on having a Ford F-250 Tremor package. So as far as the Ranger Tremor package playing out, that's just crazy. And it'll be interesting to hear my daughter's views and when she drives, if she's like, yeah, Dad, this is really cool, or is it, oh, it's just kind of like the Ranger you traded in. So I'll be very curious to hear her views on her driving experience. What's really nice about the new technology is, you see my phone's not plugged in that USB. You know, for anybody to watch my F-150 Tremor video, it's kind of redundant language, but this is now that CarPlay that's wireless, so pretty neat. And the complaint is that the charging station there never works correctly. So we shall see on that, but it is really nice that you can have that CarWays capability without having to be plugged in. But it does drain the heck out of your phone battery. So, you know, for some here now, let me kind of drive a little bit and I'll start telling you my F350 Godzilla motor driving experience versus my 6.7 diesel driving experience. Now, something that's interesting on this Ford new info technology screen is they've moved over like in pages where you control your like steering wheel and your climate settings, which we didn't know that. When I was test driving this truck the other day, the heated steering wheel was on and I couldn't figure it out. So it's, the constant change of technology. Before, it was built into the main screen. But now it's over here on the offset to the side under the climate page, which you scroll up and down to find that. Now here's where the real deal starts to show up on your suspension of vehicles, because this road is really bumpy. So, this big truck, there's no way this thing ain't gonna bounce you around and beat you up. So, but at the same time, let's kind of see how she does. And so far, it's a big old truck, a lot of material going down the road, if you know what I mean. And with every vehicle I drive, when I take it home and I go through this section, it's like the worst. And usually this area isn't really that busy with all these cars. Kind of interesting. We've got a pack of cars here. And this guy up here has like no idea what he's doing. Yikes. Now, one thing I'm always curious about when I buy vehicles is the tire pressures. Now, they're proportional, but the question is, which I don't mind these being a little underflated, because, good Lord, when you have these tires pumped to the max for trailering capabilities, I mean, it just does make the truck that much stiffer and bouncier. So, I think the tire pressures are down. I think the rear should be 80. I think the front's supposed to be 70, but that doesn't really bother me. But if you're trailering, that's the recommended pressures, I'm pretty sure. But I haven't looked at the inner, door jam here in the truck. You know what I mean? Now, one thing, when I was looking on the internet, anymore, when you shop around for vehicles, a lot of these websites for these dealers, they don't share the window sticker information. It's because all this ADM, and I didn't know if this thing had adaptive cruise or not, which that, to me, that's a huge thing, since I live behind the wheel of a car so much. And you have to go to the Platinum package in order to get the massaging seats. So, which I really like that too, because it really does relax your legs and your back. So that's a really nice feature, and you'll see it pop on here. So, get an idea of how that all works, and you can adjust it. You can have massage. And see here, you can have like full recovery or circular or relaxed recovery. It's really cool. And I can honestly tell you, driving these bigger trucks, long term on a long road trip, you do notice this adaptive cruise and this massaging makes a huge difference in your driving. When you put in a 12, 13, 14 hour day, it can be a huge difference on you not being as tired. So adaptive, which is really nice, massaging seat, that's really nice. So you pay for it though. This isn't cheap. You can go buy a house when you buy these trucks anymore. And unless you have like a business to justify this. Now, anymore, with all the technology in these trucks, it's incredible how much technology is in these vehicles. And these things, you can buy a house. These trucks are $88,000, $90,000 vehicles with the diesel engine package. It's insane. And, unless you have like a business, you're a contractor, something where you can, use tax deductions, write-offs, and just in general utilize the vehicle for your business needs, you can justify this stuff. But man, if you're just an average guy that's driving back and forth to work and park this in front of your house, this is a lot of money. And I'm fortunate because I've got a legitimate business and I live behind the wheel of vehicles every day. My business needs vehicles to operate, where I can borderline justify the expenses of these vehicles. But if it wasn't for that, you would not see me, purchasing these high-end, expensive trucks. Not worth it. It's just too much money. What's crazy is the pandemic has really inflated these vehicles beyond what anybody would have imagined. Meaning that you go back 3 years ago, even 2 years ago, right before the pandemic set in, manufacturers were discounting these trucks 10 grand, 15 grand, in some situations 20 grand. So the $88,000 truck, a guy would pick up for 78, or he'd pick it up for 73, or maybe he'd pick it up for 70. But in today's market, you're more apt to be paying this full sticker price or ADM on it, or you may get some discounting on it, but the $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 discounts, those days are long gone. So it's incredible. The pandemic has just created incredible, value on vehicles. But at the same time, when does it end as far as how expensive these vehicles are, and it starts to retreat? And that's everybody's had a lot of speculation on that, and a lot of people, including me, would have thought by this time from last year that the market would have started changing, but it's not. That dealer that I was just at, their business is through the roof. These dealerships are still selling a ton of vehicles, and their challenge is getting new vehicles. Now, once you kind of get up here on the open road and we get a little better pavement on us, without me talking, this truck's really good. It's nice, not too noisy, and not beating you up. And I come from the 90s of owning a lot of the Cummins diesels, Ram trucks, and oh my gosh, you go back to 1996, 98, it's just that noise, that diesel engine. If I was videoing out of one of those vehicles, you'd barely be able to hear me just because of all that noise. And that's what's crazy is today's technology, these diesel motors, they're just so much quieter. You wouldn't even really know, per se, if you're the average person, if this was a gas engine or a diesel engine. All right, wrapping up I'm going to buy a birthday present for myself video. And, something to think about on this F-250 Platinum Super Duty. If you look at my F-350 Lariat package that I bought in March of 2020, pre-pandemic, and, it's not the bucket seats. It's actually the bench 60/40 setup, and I really do like the bench, I should say the bucket seat setup with your center console. That is my preferred seating. And of course this truck also has the massage seats, even though my F-350 Tremor Godzilla motor has adaptive. So the biggest difference, between the F-350, F-250 is the gas versus the diesel, and then the bucket seats versus the bench, and the massaging seats that I have, and then of course the capability of towing is better, the diesel exhaust brake. But oh my gosh, this F-250 Tremor package, even the gas engine, just the setup overall is awesome. And some will be saying, what's going on? And some will be like, why you be the guy that just bragged about the Godzilla motor the whole time? Why did you not get a F-250 Godzilla gas? And, that's a great question. And what I thought to myself about was, I've already got a F-350 Godzilla motor set up, and I just got to thinking, why am I going to get a F250 Godzilla motor set up? I mean, I just think I should really kind of try to change it out, if you kind of know what I mean. And that was one reason that I came to closure that I'd rather get a diesel engine over the gas, just because, you know, even to the point yesterday, I was on the antimatter blue F250. And, you know, just really looking at that truck, I'm like, you know, that looks like my F350 truck. So, you know, some people be like, good Lord, man, you know, why do you need an F350 and F250? Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, why do I need the amount of vehicles I have in the first place, right? So, yeah, let's not go down that rabbit hole. So, you know, just once again, I just can't get over how great this Ford Tremor package set up in each one of their series of trucks. You know, going from the Ranger truck to the brand new F-150 Tremor package, which I think that's overall, that's the best truck you can buy. I believe if you're not doing heavy duty towing, if you're doing 5,000, 7,000, 8,000 pound towing, you know, the 10,000 plus, I definitely would then probably go to the Super Duty series. But, you know, overall, that F-150 Tremor, awesome truck. The F-250, which I just picked up, you know, which I've been wanting now for over a year. And then the F-350, which I've had that now coming up on 2 years. I mean, it's just a really nice product. And I'm just really glad that, you know, I'm able, in my, you know, age and where I am in my life, that I even have the capability to be able to even own these really cool trucks. I mean, I can't emphasize enough. You know, some may think I take this for granted, and I don't, because if you would have talked to me a year ago, I would have told you, hey, I'll be surprised if I have 6 vehicles, you know, because the pandemic totally, you know, destroyed my business. And, you know, I've been blessed. My business came back. Actually, it even came back better in all reality. So I've been blessed. I mean, I can't emphasize enough. I talk about the miracle prayer, and I did a video on the miracle prayer, and I'm going to tell you, if you don't think I pray for a miracle, then, you know, then you just don't know me, don't follow my channels, and didn't watch my prayer video. Pray for a miracle. I can tell you, story after story for me in my life where that's been very powerful. So, summing it up here on buying myself a birthday present, which is just awesome, on how I would have told you, you know, yesterday that I think I'd be driving home 2 Tremors today. In all sincereness, yesterday I would have told you I'm not even sure I'd be driving home 1 Tremor. So, I hope you guys are enjoying my videos, and I'm going to be doing videos. I mean, putting accessories on this truck, and as well as the Ranger. So, hope you guys stay tuned, and on my continued passion for my truck. Right now, it's all about the trucks. So, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a safe and great evening.